How's it going, guys? What you'll see today is CTE footage of me breaking down and using the CS5 bolt-action sniper rifle that'll be coming out for the Dragon's Teeth DLC in the near future. Of course, it's subject to change. The stats might change because the DLC isn't out yet. It's a community test environment. You get to basically trial run with these weapons. They unlock them early, so that's how you see me using it. So what you'll see in this review, of course, is me breaking down the early preliminary Simthic stats, and again, they're subject to change, and giving you some highlights of it, and of course, my opinions on it based on the stats. So here we go. First things first, it fires a 7.62 by 51mm NATO round, and it has a standard damage model for most sniper rifles in the game of 100 as its max damage, 59 as its minimum damage. Damage drop-off starts at 12.5 meters and ends at 100 meters, which is actually a lot shorter than a lot of the sniper rifles that end at usually 150 meters plus. So you're not going to have a higher damage output past 100 meters, past 59 for a lot of the shots you take. So bear that in mind. The standard bullet drop relies on the gravitational constant of the Earth of 9.81 meters per second squared. Its bolt action time to cycle is actually 0.95 second, which effectively gives it a 63 round per minute fire rate, which, if you do the math, statistically speaking, of course, you can fire more than a round a second if you are perfect cycling your bolt every time. The reload time is 2.7 seconds in the short reload when there's a round left in the chamber, which is actually quicker than average. But it's about average exactly at about 4.6 seconds when there isn't a round left in the chamber and it's completely empty. The telling stat here, though, is actually the bullet velocity. It's 400 meters per second, which is, of course, lightning quick to a standard real-life scenario. But when you're actually comparing it to other sniper rifles in the game, it's actually very slow in comparison. Like a quick look here, the Gold Magnum actually has a 580 meters per second bullet velocity. 550 for the L96, 650 for the M98B, and actually 480 for the M40A5, so that should give you a good comparison of it. And of course, it holds 10 rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber for 11 rounds at your disposal at all times. So the key thing to get out of this is basically, this thing is very, very similar to the M40A5 in terms of fire rate, how quick the bolt action is, and the muzzle velocity. It's similar to the Gold Magnum as well, except the Gold Magnum has a smaller magazine size and a much, much faster muzzle velocity. So that's one thing to bear in mind. And based on those stats, of course, you could figure out the picture I'm trying to paint for you. This weapon, because of how fast its fire rate and how fast you could cycle the bolt and its damage model of 100 plus inside of 12.5 meters, is an extreme potentially great weapon in terms of aggressive recon. The long range, it has the potential as well. Like, there isn't a detriment there. You can still use this thing past 500 meters, especially with the zeroing system. But the medium range is actually, weirdly enough, where this weapon could be outclassed by many other sniper rifles because of that low muzzle velocity. When you have, like, say for example, you're matched up against the Gold Magnum or the M98B, that extra at least 100 plus meters per second you're going to have with those weapons versus this one actually puts you at that split second or a couple of, maybe around a second timing disadvantage if you were to both fire about the same time, or if I happen to see you first with an M98B. So a potentially great aggressive recon weapon, but it'll still be quite effective in medium range, but it will be outclassed by others in medium range. That's my thoughts early on. See you later.